Hurts keeps wide open. Touchdown, Zach Ertz.
For us NFL fans, few things are more depressing than watching Father Time arrive on your favorite players. Sometimes it's a very gradual process. For others, their regression from hero to zero can come in the blink of an eye. The last few seasons have sadly reminded us that NFL players cannot perform at their peaks forever. With the 2024 offseason upon us, it's a good time to dive into 10 active NFLers who are no longer superstars. So with that, let's get right into it. Russell Wilson. This isn't to say that Wilson isn't starting caliber anymore. We're very confident that he can be a solid game manager for the Pittsburgh Steelers, similar to what Wilson was for the Seattle Seahawks during his first 3 seasons. But Wilson is no longer a top 5 quarterback or MVP candidate, and he's most certainly not close to a top 15 QB either. Wilson had a miserable first year with the Denver Broncos in 2022. Now, to his credit, Wilson bounced back under new head coach Sean Payton, but even 26 TD passes and an average of 204.7 passing yards per game is pretty dang lackluster compared to prime Russ. It also doesn't look good on Wilson that career backup Geno Smith played close to Wilson's star-like level in 2022. So now, it's not really a stretch to wonder if Wilson's success stemmed from elite coaching and his star-studded supporting cast in Emerald City. Fortunately for Wilson, he has a pretty good situation in Pittsburgh, a Hall of Fame head coach in Mike Tomlin, a top 10 defense, and a very potent rushing offense. The makeup of this Pittsburgh team is similar to what Wilson had in Seattle to begin his career, so he just has to be a game manager to give the Steelers a chance. But a game manager and a superstar are two very different things. Wilson's numbers over the last 3 years are far off his career year in 2020. So I think it's time to accept that he's now in the class of average and he's no longer elite. The Broncos accepted it, and the Steelers are surely aware of it. Von Miller. Miller certainly didn't look like someone on the wrong side of 30 when he won his second Super Bowl ring with the Los Angeles Rams in the 2021 season. And he was still playing like a first-ballot Hall of Famer in his first season with the Buffalo Bills, which was tragically cut short by a season-ending ACL tear. But all good things must come to an end. And that includes prime Von Miller. The 8-time Pro Bowler and former Super Bowl MVP showed his age during an awfully disappointing 2023 season in Buffalo. The Bills made Miller a healthy scratch late in a 2023 home game against the New England Patriots. He appeared in 12 games, but wasn't a starter for either of them, logging 0 sacks, pass defenses, forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries. Adding to the concern, Pro Football Focus graded Miller at a woeful 45.4 on the 2023 season, meaning he is performing like a second-string level player. Father Time is undefeated, and it looks like it began to hit Miller in 2023. After J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald, he was undoubtedly the best defensive player of his era. But, well, it's no longer Miller time, folks. It's time to accept that Miller's prime days are over, and that the twilight years of his career have just arrived. Jamal Adams. Remember when Adams was one of the best defensive backs in football? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Number 6 pick of the 2017 NFL Draft was the franchise face of an otherwise hapless New York Jets team for 3 years. Adams was a 2-time Pro Bowler with the Jets, earning first and second team All-Pro nods. A disgruntled Adams was traded to the Seahawks in 2020 in a blockbuster deal that sent 2 first-round picks to the Jets. Adams had a superb first year in Seattle, setting the single-season record in sacks by a defensive back with 9.5 en route to Pro Bowl and second team All-Pro nods. Incredibly, that was it for Adams' peak, at the ripe old age of 25 no less. He ended up progressing mightily in 2021, recording 0 sacks in 12 games while becoming a giant liability in coverage. He missed all but 1 game in 2022 and was limited to 9 games in 2023, recording 0 sacks again while garnering a meh Pro Football Focus grade of 54.9. Adams was a superstar for 4 years, and then he just inexplicably fell off the map in 3 short years. That prompted Seattle to cut Adams in a cap-saving move, and teams must accept now that the 28-year-old is already well past his playing prime. Oh, how the mighty can fall so quickly. Brandon Cooks. The speedy Cooks was once a model of consistency. Unlike a box full of chocolates, you knew exactly what you were getting from him. Cooks posted 6 seasons of at least 65 catches and over 1,000 receiving yards between 2015 and 2021. He did that on 4 different teams in the New Orleans Saints, New England Patriots, Los Angeles Rams, and Houston Texans. But unfortunately, it looks like Cooks' best before date has already arrived. Injuries and inconsistent production have removed Cooks from that 1K form, and he's now a steady number 2 or number 3 3 receiver at this phase of his career. Cooks, who turns 31 next season, missed 4 games for Houston in 2022 and still finished with a mess stat line of 57 receptions for 699 yards and 3 touchdowns. Going to the Dallas Cowboys' high-powered offense was supposed to revive his career, but Cooks only had 54 catches for 657 yards, though his total of 8 TDs was noteworthy. He can still be a serviceable weapon at this stage of his career, but superstar Brandon Cooks is long gone. Pure and simple. Zaven Howard. It doesn't feel long ago where Howard was one of the most feared corners in the NFL. Howard was a 4-time Pro Bowler over the 2018 and 2022 seasons in Miami, the longtime Dolphin star and 2018 second team and 2020 first team All-Pro honors, leading the league in picks each of those years. That included a ridiculous 10 interceptions in the 2020 season alone. Dolphins, however, wound up releasing Howard in a cap-saving move this offseason. And yeah, for pretty good reason. The man has slowly but surely gone from superstar to very good to above average to average at best. PFF graded Howard at 87.3 in the 2020 season. That number dropped to 70.9 in 2021, 58.4 in 2022, and 55.1 in 2023. Additionally, Pro Football Reference's data shows that Howard has given up 11 TDs in coverage since 2021. He allowed a passer rating of 101.2 when targeted and an eye-popping 15.6 yards per reception. Howard was a lights-out shutdown corner and elite ball hawker for a few years there in South Beach, but Miami was wise to release Howard based on recent performance and, not the fact that he's a household name. He might still be a solid enough starter in today's NFL, but Howard is no longer a top 5 corner, let alone a top 20. Dalvin Cook. Cook was once among the NFL's most prolific offensive players. He exceeded 1,100 yards rushing 4 straight years from 2019 to 2022 with the Minnesota Vikings, racking up 43 rushing touchdowns in that period. But with the Vikings facing a cap crunch, they decided to cut Cook in the midst of the 2023 offseason. It was a bit of an odd move, considering that Cook had just rushed for 1,173 yards and 8 scores. But hey, to each their own, we suppose. After weighing his options, Cook signed with Aaron Rodgers' New York Jets, seemingly forming a prolific backfield duo with Breece Hall. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. Cook had just 214 rushing yards and no TDs in 15 game appearances. The Jets cut ties with Cook late in the season, and a short stint with the Baltimore Ravens did nothing to revive the 4-time Pro Bowler. So, it looks like prime Dalvin Cook is in the past now. He isn't the only notable running back to decline before his 30th birthday, but it is definitely hard to comprehend how he went from consistent 1K rusher to hardly usable as a number 2 back. Cook has clearly lost some of that explosiveness that made him such a weapon in Minnesota. As he enters his age 29 season, it's evident that he's best used as a number 3 running back. Oh well, we'll always have 2019 to 2022 prime Dalvin Cook. Zach Ertz. It looked like Ertz was past his prime back in 2020 when he set career lows for a helpless Philadelphia Eagles team. But a trade to the Arizona Cardinals in the midst of the 2021 season seemingly brought back prime Zach Ertz. In 11 games, he racked up 56 catches for 574 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the Redbirds to their first playoff appearance in 6 years. Well, it turns out that was just a mirage and not a career revival for Ertz. The 3-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl 52 hero was limited to 17 total games over the 2022 and 2023 seasons, compiling 74 catches for 593 yards and 5 touchdowns. Ertz signed with the Washington Commanders in 2024 free agency, but there is a reason he only got $1.96 million in guarantees. The Commanders know that Ertz's days of consistently putting up 70-plus catches and threatening for 1K yards are now long gone. David Bakhtiari. Bakhtiari was on a Hall of Fame trajectory until injuries tragically began to pile up on Aaron Rodgers' longtime blindside protector in Green Bay. Look at Bakhtiari's resume from 2016 to 2020. 3 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro nods, and 3 second-team All-Pro selections. The Packers went to 3 NFC Championship games in that span, though Bakhtiari had to miss their 2020 playoff run after suffering a torn ACL late in the year. Bakhtiari only appeared in 1 game for both the 2021 and 2023 seasons, and he was limited to 11 contests in 2022. With Bakhtiari unable to stay healthy, the Packers cut the longtime mainstay this offseason in a cap-saving move. Bakhtiari has only played in 25 games since the 2020 season. He's about to enter his age 33 season, so of course, he's nothing close to All-Pro or Pro Bowl form anymore. He can still be a serviceable rotational piece player on any team's offensive line, but his days as a top 3 offensive tackle in the game have ended in a rather somber fashion. Tre'Davious White. The Buffalo Bills struck gold when they selected White with the number 27 pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. He emerged as a cornerstone on defense and played a major role in their rise to AFC heavyweights alongside Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Poyer, and Micah Hyde. White earned Pro Bowl nods in 2019 and 2020, along with first and second team All-Pro selections. He was once in the conversation for the NFL's best cornerback. But, like David Bakhtiari, injuries quickly derailed White's career that was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He has been limited to just 21 games over the last 3 years, and the Bills ultimately decided to cut him this offseason in a cash-dumping move of their own. Plus, White's PFF grade has been no higher than 68.0 since 2021. So, he wasn't even playing like an All-Pro before the injuries began to pile up. The Los Angeles Rams gave White a 1-year deal following his release from the Bills, so heck, maybe he'll stay healthy and improve the secondary. But this man is clearly well past his short-lived days as an NFL superstar. Michael Thomas. The last 3 guys on our list looked like surefire Hall of Famers just a few short years ago. Thomas, White, and Bakhtiari were all once in the conversation as the NFL's best player at their respective positions. All 3 of them have been hit hard by the injury bug since the turn of the decade, and all 3 were released in the 2024 offseason. It just kinda sucks considering how ultra-dominant they were when they were all healthy. In each of his first 4 NFL seasons, Thomas hit the 90-catch mark and exceeded 1,100 yards. He led the league in receptions with 125 and 149, a single-season record, in 2018 and 2019 respectively. Tragically, the 2019 Offensive Player of the Year hasn't been the same since suffering an unfortunate ankle injury in garbage time at the Saints' Week 1 2020 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And let me just say, Thomas should not have been in at that point. Fast forward to 2024, Thomas has played in 20 total games since 2020. He missed the entire 2021 season with the ankle injury and missed all but 3 games in 2022. After giving can't guard Mike one last shot at staying healthy in 2023, Thomas missed 7 games and tallied only 39 catches for 448 yards and 1 touchdown. New Orleans had seen enough at that point, and they released Thomas after the 2023 season. But hey, which other active NFL players are no longer superstars? Is there anyone we should have included on our list? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.